Hey guys, we're watching Albion Choppers versus Satans. So just going to get a quick look here at sort of gear levels. It is a yellow zone fight, so I'm not expecting huge amounts of gear. Actually seeing Demon Helmets come out. Wow, 5-1, 6-1, 5-2, sort of typical gear levels. Let's see what we can get from the other side. 4-2 on the tank. 5-1, 5-2 on the healer, so probably a little bit of a gear advantage towards Albion Choppers. Running the Clarent, the Glaive, the Curse Staff, the Great Nature Staff, and the Holy double healer on Albion Choppers. Just building up stacks on Steel Rat at the moment. The Stalker Hood coming out and hitting Isa for so much damage right there. And Cerebes isn't really doing too much. The tank of Satan's at the moment, just following Kekra around, trying to do what he can. Jeruzzi takes a little bit of damage. They are putting damage onto Vaporize, though. Vaporize falls back, uses that Frost Shield just to keep himself top type, gets a couple of hots rolling out. Isa in a lot of trouble, actually, gets that Clarent Blade coming down. It hitting really, really hard. The Armor Pierce does come down as well, and Isa's in a lot of trouble. Satans are just getting pushed back right now. Cerebes really isn't able to do too much. Sensong using that Forester Spears. And Trigler using the Royal Boots, getting away, auto shots, and the Sunders coming out, the Great Nature coming onto Steel Rat. He's able to just go in super hard right now, and there's just no damage coming out of Satan's with that tank at the moment. Isa does take a little bit of damage, does get healed up, and it looks like Albion Choppers have won the first push. So, big first engage from Albion Choppers. They kept pushing. Cerebes isn't really doing too much at the moment with them purges, silences, things like that. We do see the silence go on to Jeruzmi, but realistically, that isn't going to do too much. You need to silence one of these healers. Steel Rat actually taking a lot of damage right there. The Stalker Hood coming out. Steel Rat does use the Resistance Potion as well as the Holy Explosions. And the Great Nature coming down. Lots of cooldowns being used on him, but looks like he's going to be fine. Ice is taking a little bit of damage right now. Oh wow, Isa does go down. They pushed him into the tent. They're looting the gear, and Steel Rat's actually under the tower. Needs to get out of that. Jeruzmi in a little bit of trouble, but looks like he's going to be fine too. The two healers of Albion Choppers just able to keep this offense going forward. Steel Rat doing a lot of damage onto the team. Jeruzmi just trying to land as much damage as he can. Obviously, they do have a damage-centric team with that Curse, Clarent, and Glaive. Having the crossbow on Satan's isn't really able to do too much damage. Cerebes obviously has that tank, just really not able to secure any kills or CC setups at the moment. Looks like, not really sure what's going on right now. Satan's looks like they've kind of rotated around, taken the top point. Sorry, no, it actually is Albion Choppers taking the top point right now. Looks like they're going to be going 4v4 currently at their back point. They've kind of given up their positional advantage there. Yeah, I'm not really sure why they did that. Sensong taking a little bit of damage there using that Inferno Shield. Obviously, Reflect really big right now. And Vaporized is getting pushed into now by Albion Choppers. The Great Nature onto Steel Rat. He's completely safe right now. And yeah, Steel Rat's just building them, stacks up, Royal Boots in, waiting for the Stalker Hood. It does come down, only hits Sensong. The Stag getting involved. The Stag does not like this fight. The Forester Spear is coming down, trying to get as much damage as it can. But Albion Choppers kind of have just walked completely away, given up their advantage, and then kind of walked back. I'm not really sure what's going on here. Looks like they're going for another fight. Maybe they're trying to get the kills, push back, and force Satan's to overextend. But at the moment, Satan's are actually holding the point advantage. So fair play to those guys. The three main members of Satan's pushing back. And actually, who was that died? That was Madalena dying from Albion Choppers 1v1 against Trigler. Is it Trigler? It must be Trigler, the crossbow of Satan's. Not really sure what happened there, but that's really not good to be losing a 1v1. You should never really be getting 1v1 kills in the GvG. If you get low, you just rotate back. You shouldn't be extending for that kill. And all of a sudden, Satan's are starting to build up a little bit of a point advantage, even though Albion Choppers had such a big sort of head start into doing some damage. Madalena is getting back into the fight right now, and looks like it's going to be 5v4 for a second. No, Tricler does get here as well. Yeah, that was the curse of Albion Choppers versus the crossbow of Satan's. I would say the curse wins that fight. Not really sure what happened there, but 'tis what it is. And Cerebes is actually so overextended, just hitting these interrupting these caps, uses that block to get away. Does get flung back, but obviously he is he shouldn't have too much of an issue. The Mighty Swing does come down from Steel Rat onto Vaporize, taking a lot of damage right now. The Armor Pierce coming down. If Vaporize gets put onto, he's going to do a lot of damage. That was a Frost Armor and the Cleanse, but no, Steel Rat overextends and gets exploded. The double healer of Albion Choppers weren't ready for that, and now Yakura is taking so much damage, gets flinged back. Tricler putting a lot of damage into him. A little bit of an unnecessary Frost Armor right there. Looks like he's managed to recover himself. Ooh, actually getting pushed away right now. Let's go to Ketka. Wow, that was a little bit of an overextend, a bit greedy from Albion Choppers. Looks like Satans are going to recover their... Well, I mean, they haven't lost any caps. They've kept the top two at the moment. And, yeah, they've got a 34-point lead. That's pretty big for a team that completely lost the first engagement of this fight. So... Still not sure on the tank decision for Satans. We do see the rotation top to get that second cap for Albion Choppers. Going to slow these points. Going to get a 10 tick over to these guys now, making it 102 to 126. If Satans are smart, they would have pushed in on that. They realised that Albion Choppers were only ever going to be 4 people there. Unless they've sent someone to backcap themselves. There is only 4 people I can see currently. Maybe they've sent someone straight up, and it looks like it has just swapped over back to Satan. So it's a 4v5. Albion Choppers need to be playing a bit aggressive now. Surabez gets flung back, but not really in too much trouble. Nice boost to Dresme and Windwall away. That was a great play, moving people out of it. He's just completely safe. No real cooldowns outside of Windwall needed to be used. And Satans are back in the driving seat in terms of caps. And now all Satans have to do is keep interrupting. Steel Rat actually opting to try and go for the cap rather than fighting this. Isa taking a little bit of damage. Cerebes does jump in, uses that block to get out of the way. Everlasting Spirit popped on Ulquiorra from Tricler. Just crossbow damage, able to sit on the side. Isa does get a little bit greedy there and does go down. Steel Rat does hit with a lovely Stalker Hood into the Mighty Swing. Lots of damage coming out. Cerebes in a lot of trouble, using that snare charge to get away, and Albion Choppers need to get these caps and hold them. Looks like they're going to get the cap here now and hold 2 caps to Satan's 1. 92 to 122 points, obviously 30-point difference. Albion Choppers not playing smart in these fights. Steel Rat spending a lot of time in that fight trying to get this cap when he could have been putting damage out, and I think that was the priority. That's what they needed to actually do there. Obviously 5 members of Albion Choppers are here. All 5 members, I believe, of Satans are there as well. And they're just so split. Ulquiorra is still on his mount, which means he does have them cooldowns. Cerebes getting knocked away, or using that Windwall to knock Ketka and Madalena away. Looks like they're going to be fine. Vaporize just getting vaporized, funny enough. Jeruzmi trying to get some damage off the Holy Explosion coming out, as well as the Great Nature onto Jeruzmi. And Albion Choppers are going to be able to just go absolutely ham here, push them back into their base, and that's another 10 tick over in Albion Chopper's favour. Lots of damage coming out now from Albion Choppers. They're playing a little bit more grouped again. You can definitely see they want to put the damage onto Vaporize, but I mean, Tricler's actually doing a fair bit of damage right there onto Steel Rat. Does use the Royal Boots to get in. Tricler responds with his own Royal Boots there. Dresme going in and putting some damage onto Sensong. Ketka diving into the middle of things there. Great Nature onto Dresme. Looks like he's going to be absolutely fine. Tricler getting pushed into his base. If they get a fling on him, that could be a kill right there. And Cerebes uses that snare charge as a peel. Steel Rat taking a lot of damage, actually. He's so low. The Holy Explosion does come out, as well as the Cleanse. Looks like he's going to be fine. And Albion Choppers are fighting so close to the Satan's tent right now, and that's not what they need. Jeruzmi does get knocked back. Looks like he isn't going to get into the tent range. The Great Nature Staff coming out. The Mana Potion used by Ketka, actually, just to sustain this healing needed onto Albion Choppers. Steel Rat taking a lot of damage. Obviously, no Druid Cows actually being used on the Albion Chopper team. Purely Mana Potion regen right now, and looks like they've managed to sort of recover. And yeah, Satans are getting pushed back again. So if Albion Choppers want to go for the kills, they kind of have to be ready to pull back, let them get onto this point at least and fight them there. But if they want to win the GvG guaranteed, they're doing it now. They're sending one person back and having a 4v5, 4v4 sort of situation at this top point. But they didn't do it in time, and Satan's gets that back cap again. They need to react to this a lot quicker. The double Forester Spears poking each other with their pointy stick, and the interrupt comes in. Ice are doing a lot of damage on Jeruzmi. That's a Holy Explosions and Great Nature used there just to survive, and Ketka taking a little bit of damage, does Royal Boots away. The Wind Wall used a little bit unnecessarily. Madalena taking a little bit of damage, but Sengsong is completely out of energy and is having to try and retreat away. Ketka's had to go back, though, it looks like, and try and help Steel Rat. Steel Rat is actually able to cap what looks like he was winning the 1v1, and Tricler was just sitting there poking him. If he has that bolt explosion on the Q, he could have sat there and just poked him all day long from that safe distance, but it looks like he's stuck with the auto fire at the moment. But Cerebear's taking a lot of damage, and looks like they're getting pushed back again, and unfortunately this means that Albion Choppers should just leave one person back, just defend that point. He doesn't need to be here. I'd actually suggest Madalena more than anything else can kind of sit between the 2 points. If the back cap goes, you can use them armor pierces, if nothing else, to interrupt. Allow Steel Rat, Jeruzmi, and the 2 healers just to stay and be like an offensive force. But, I mean, we've seen the same person going back cap for Satan's every time. It's always been Tricler. Steel Rat actually snuck up top and got the top cap as well. So we're going to see a 20-point tick over in a second, equalising the points. Madalena using that armor pierce onto as many people as possible. Jeruzmi taking a lot of damage here. That is not good. And the silence coming out. That's double cleanse being used on Albion Choppers. The Wind Wall does come in, interrupt that Holy Explosion. Madalena in a lot of trouble. Frost armor and Ice Block being used. And but Steel Rat is here. He's gone in. He's using that Mortal Agony and hitting people really hard with that Mighty Swing. And Ice are in a little bit of trouble there. Steel Rat actually in trouble as well. The Purge comes in from Cerebez, but it was too early. The Living Armor is there, and now he's not going to be able to do anything about it. The Pierce onto Sensong and Ice, so they have to get back now. The slowing the Sticky Potion actually being used. Steel Rat hitting as many people as he can with that Mighty Swing. Ice is in a little bit of trouble, but looks like he's going to get back okay. And if Satan's don't do something quick, I would actually, if I was Albion Choppers, I'd be sending someone up top right now to defend that cap. But no, all 5 members of Satan's are staying here, and as long as nothing changes, in fact, they can't now. It's a 10-second cast, and that's another 20-point tick over to Albion Choppers. Really well recovered on these points. So, Satan's did definitely have like the micro game at the start. But Albion Choppers are kind of controlled it now, and Jeruzmi a little bit of trouble. Keck used that Obsessive Burst just to get him topped off. Madalena actually in a little bit of trouble, and Steel Rat is just in the middle of everyone, hits everyone with the Mortal Agony and the Mighty Swing. That's big damage right there. Ice is in a little bit of trouble, looks like he's going to get back to base just fine, and Cerebez just trying to do what he can, but realistically isn't able to get too much off. Great play from Albion Choppers now that they've sort of regrouped a little bit. Again, if I was Albion Choppers, I'd be sending the curse back right now just to be an annoyance, if nothing else, to sit back and be able to sit between the 2 points, at least hold that 2 cap. At the moment, we don't know where all the members of Satan's are. But I can almost guarantee at least 1 point's going to go back over. Depends if he manages to get it before this next 20-point tick over. So Tricler has definitely gone, gets that top cap, and it's only going to be 10-point tick over right now. And I imagine that's Steel Rat and Tricler going for that 1v1. So that's Clarent versus Crossbow. Clarent kind of wins that fight in a 1v1. So I imagine the other point will be safe, maybe even be able to recover this, but Madalena's in a lot of trouble. Living Armor does come out in the Ice Block as well. The Stag getting involved again. These guys are ruthless. Vaporize taking a little bit of damage from Jeruzmi, but he's completely out of energy. Ketka's actually running low on energy as well, and so is Yukiora. This could potentially be really bad for Albion Choppers getting pushed back. Jeruzmi has burned every defensive he has. Madalena's actually really out of position, in a lot of trouble. Living Armor does come out. Looks like he's going to be just fine. Ketka does use that Royal Boot. Cerebez just so close to being able to actually hit Ketka with them then. Yukiora in a little bit of trouble. Holy Explosions does come out just to top his team off. Madalena looks like he's going to be just fine at the moment. Jeruzmi using that Forest of Spears. Yukiora's the one in trouble, though. The Mortal Lagging Mighty Swing combo does come down. Steel Rat is still not come back to this fight. If your team's getting pushed back this hard, you need to be there. I'd actually say Madalena needs to be going instead of Steel Rat in these situations. But looks like Albion Choppers have managed to get everyone top back up, but realistically they're going to lose at this point, and they need to now recover these points and get back out there. So that's a that's a 2 cap currently, 2 Satans. I imagine they're going to walk back and capture their third and give up the closest to the left. Is that Steel Rat actually capping the top? Let's have a look what's going on. Looks like he is fighting Trekler. They're both so low. And actually, Steel Rat has got a poison potion on him. He could go down here. Yeah, he does go down. That's another 1v1 for Trekler. Very, very well played by him. That's great play to be winning these 1v1s, and actually really bad play to be losing them. You should never be losing a 1v1. You shouldn't be having a 1v1 for too long in a GvG, and it does give Satans the advantage now that they've got this 3 cap. Trekler's going to get here before Steel Rat is able to, and actually, that could be a pretty dangerous situation. Madalena in a lot of trouble here. Satans are going in hard. Ketka takes a lot of damage from that Mortal Agony and Mighty Swing. Madalena gets that Living Armor just to keep himself topped up. Yukiura already burnt through a lot of mana. And Dresma is literally got no mana. Serapes goes in. That's a double cleanse. That's a huge wasted cooldown right there. The Forest of Spears onto 2 members of Satans. Trekler has got involved in the fight. He is just here before Steel Rat. Look, I don't actually know where Steel Rat is right now, but Albion Chopper's still getting pushed back. Serapes going in. He's getting quite low, taking a lot of just free poke damage. Steel Rat actually went to the top cap just to take that, but Satans look like they're going to be able to hold on to this for another 4 seconds, and that means that they get the 10-point tick over, and this is going to be quite close in points. Yukiura getting topped off. Ketka still keeping around that 40% mana. Jerozmi's really struggling for mana right now. Steel Rat actually backcapping onto Satan. Satans look like they're going to be rotating back. Get that interrupt. Vaporized in a lot of trouble right now, though. That's the Demon Helmet as well as the Great Curse Purge. He's so low, and Steel Rat's coming in from behind him with that Mortal Agony Mighty Swing combo. He does go down from Jerozmi with that Pike. Great play, and now Satans don't have a healer. A little bit overextended, a little bit too confident, and now they do get punished for it. Madalena going back to get that cap. This is what we wanted to see from Albion Choppers. 2 members capping. That you don't need to be doing that. Let Steel Rat go in. And Serapes is actually just sticking around and getting these interrupts. This is great play from him. If he can hold this for another 8 seconds, doesn't look like he's going to be able to, but yeah, he might have been a bit too overextended right there. In fact, he's going to give his life for this, isn't he? He 100% is going to give his life for this, but doesn't matter because he does go down, and the 2 cap is still going to go over to Albion Choppers anyway. The only difference is they only got 10. Oh, yeah, they only got 10. That was actually really close on actually getting the 10 tick over in Satan's advantage because they backcapped top. So pretty close right there. So 48 to 24. These are really close points. I don't understand why people are mounting and running away right now. You don't need to be. Trekler is going for that back cap as well, and Steel Rat now knows that he can be 1v1 by Trekler. Ketka is here just to be safe, but the rest of Albion Choppers are being engaged on from the other side. This is a great play from Satan's just coming in from both sides. Steel Rat knows he can't win the 1v1, so Trekler's a really big threat. Wow, Samsung taking a lot of damage. The Armor Pierce coming down onto 3 members of Satan's. The Silence coming into Madalena and Ketka. The Cleanse coming out, and Drizmi's a lot of trouble. Living Armor and Holy Explosion has been used. The Wind Wall comes in to interrupt the Holy Explosions, but it's still going to get topped off from just the residual damage. And Satan's taking a little bit of damage. Saiso and Sensong again taking that Armor Pierce. Madalena's a little bit too overextended right now. The stun does come in for a short time. The Cleanse onto Sensong as well, take a lot of damage. And Madalena nearly gets one shot by Isa. That was so close. So much damage came out of them from the Mortal Agony Mighty Swing and the Q combo. It was huge amounts of damage. Jerozmi in a little bit of trouble here, has no mana and is getting just a lot of damage put into him. Vaporized actually trying to keep himself up as well, taking that a little bit of residual damage every time people can get onto him. And again, we're still seeing this 4v4 right here. Yukiura actually getting that Holy Explosions to top all of Albion Choppers up, and that gives them a good place to keep running down this fight. They've got the health, but they haven't got the energy to keep pushing this fight. Serapes is just sitting in the back lines of Albion Choppers, just being as annoying as possible. Isa getting in, building those stacks up, and we could see a Mighty Swing here. Does actually tickle Madalena, but doesn't quite hit Yukiura. If it did, that could potentially have been a kill, and that's a huge silence coming down onto Yukiura and Madalena. Doesn't get cleansed off of both, only get cleansed off of Yukiura for the Holy Explosions to come out. 1 or 2 ticks just enough to give him a little bit of health to survive, and Dresmu a little bit of trouble, but look at the points. Only 4 points left on Satan's. It's either 4 deaths or 40 seconds, 45 seconds. Steel Rat actually getting involved in the fight now. He's going in, and Cerebez getting rooted. He's trying to build them stacks up. Tricler actually trying to back cap. This does mean that we've gone back to a 5v5. Steel Rat has gone straight in. That Mortal Agony coming down in a second. He does miss with the Mighty Swing, and Druzmy goes down with that Demon Helmet. The Demon Helmet does survive. Keiko's make sure he does loot that up. It's a good call right there, and Isa was in a lot of trouble there. Vaporize still not been able to use them global cooldowns to actually get himself topped up right now. Does get a couple of hots going on himself. The double cleanse coming down again from Albion Choppers. Yukura in a lot of trouble. That Living Armor and Holy Explosions combo are going to come down and be fine, but Tricler tries to get that cap, but it doesn't matter. Albion Choppers do win, and that was a real close GvG. Thanks for watching, guys, and catch you later. Goodbye.